Morning Show with Eman here. Believe me, I told you the second annual 2012 African Community Soccer Tournament is coming off on the 1st of September and will be continued on the 15th of September. And yesterday and the day before yesterday, we have spoken extensively about this program. One of the biggest companies that are actually behind this program is this gentleman. I'm going to be talking to him very soon. And you know what? I have him on the line, but for such a big company like MoneyGram, for them to put their weight on this program, it is an icon that we need to really talk to management. I am so proud to have this gentleman over here. Ladies and gentlemen, I have with us manager of the MoneyGram here in Southern California. Good morning to you, sir.
Hello, good morning, my African brothers and sisters and listeners and all that are loyal to seeing Africa grow. We are very excited to be part of this. Thank you for having me.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate you having over here as well too. And I understand that MoneyGram is one of the biggest sponsors behind this program here, which is organized by Vuvuzela Media Marketing, the second annual 2012 African Community Soccer Tournament.
Correct.
My thing is this: why MoneyGram, putting their weight on a program like this? Why?
Well, if you allow me, I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Hughes, and I'm a regional partnership manager here based in Southern California. And we are extremely excited to be part of this tournament. Now, Vuvuzela, particularly Charlotte and Isaac, have been great friends of mine on a personal level, but also strong leaders in the community. Last year when this tournament was being put in place, I jumped, I meaning me, just being an African as well, but also I love the idea because of what it represents. Soccer, as you know, has been able to put all of us African, not just African, but people across the world together, regardless of religion, regardless of, our personal beliefs, and regardless of what's going on in our home countries, respectively. When you put a soccer ball, everybody comes and wants to play.
That's correct.
So a company such as MoneyGram, having seen the importance and how much Africa is important to our company, we could not let that opportunity go by. And we wanted to just show a small little token of our appreciation to the African community and make sure that the African community understands that unlike our competition and some other people that we have playing in this remittance business, MoneyGram is a true partner of the African community. We invest in the community, we spend time with the community, we listen to the community, and we always work hard at providing a cost-effective, fast, reliable, and convenient service to our African customers across the world.
Well, thank you very much, Hughes. And I believe that last year too, when we talk about the second annual, last year you were there to help in the same program as well too. I want us to take you back a little bit. How do you saw last year, and what made you continue to also come up with this year as well to also sponsor the same program as well? How was last year, and why made you think about putting up another sponsorship for the same program again?
I think it has a lot to do with the two folks that I dealt with. It has a lot to do with my trust in, first of all, our African community, but also my trust on the organizers. They've done a tremendous job. If you were there last year, I know you were, for a first-time event, having dragged approximately, I don't know what the official numbers were, 5,000, 7,000 or whatnot.
That is awesome.
But it was a classy event. All the teams were there, performed to their potential, and more than anything, aside from soccer, it was a great experience to see that what the African diaspora is here in Southern California. Sometimes we don't get to see it because people are so spread out. But an opportunity such as this one gave MoneyGram, and I'm sure all the other vendors, an opportunity to say, you know what? Wow, this is a big crowd. And that was that was even probably 1/10 of what the true potential this year. So we could not resist. We knew that this year will be even bigger and better. And we will be there so long as I'm here at MoneyGram, so long as MoneyGram continues to value our African diaspora. We will continue to be here as a legitimate sponsor.
That is great, Hugh. We appreciate it. We appreciate MoneyGram as well, and all the other sponsors that are also behind as well too. But your input into this one has really made a difference. When I spoke to the organizers of this program, they actually told me that immediately, they came to you. You just openly, open your arms to them and say, you know what, this is a worthy cause that we need to go for it. And as you were saying, when we talk about soccer, this is a game that the whole world plays, and no wonder we have the World Cup, which is mainly soccer that the whole world play. There has not been any game that we can actually call it the World Cup except soccer. Thanks so much. We appreciate it so much. But Hughes, before we go on to the nitty gritty of all the things that are going on, the good thing that MoneyGram is doing to Africa, how do you think? How did you saw the last year's program? I usually put my weight on previous things before I think about the next one that are coming. How do you saw the security wise when the game was going on last year? I know you were there in person. The management told me. How was it so far?
No, security was not an issue. In fact, they were probably bored. To be honest with you, we didn't have any negative incident. I was there from the beginning to the end. All the games, all the players were so excited, I guess, to have this event organized by our fellow Africans. And with the contribution of our host countries, of course, the city and the LAPD, LA Fire Department, and some of the great sponsors that we had, everybody was just excited. Everybody was in a great mood. And we thank God there were no incident, physical harm or whatnot, because as you know, soccer can get physical. But nothing of that sort was reported. So overall, I think we had a fantastic experience, and I brought my family, and I urge everyone to not just look at this as a soccer tournament, but as a family gathering, because we really want to reach out to all the families. And I know MoneyGram, we don't limit ourselves to just men or women who play soccer. We extend ourselves to the entire community. We want to make sure that we are the bridge through which the African diaspora is able to contribute to the development of the families back home, to putting kids to school, to putting their relatives, helping pay bills and whatnot. That's what MoneyGram is about. With over 13,000 locations in Africa, throughout Africa, we continue to grow, and we believe that Africa is the future, and we need to be there partnering with the community.
Yes, over 13,000 locations in the whole of Africa. Believe me, ladies and gentlemen, that is MoneyGram talking right there. And believe me, they are putting their weight on this one here. This is security coming on from a main layman's, idea. I just want him to put his thought on this one, because I've spoken to these organizers. I know they will say everything to let impress you that security was white. When it comes to LA here, whenever there is a gathering, a gathering of any sort, people are usually a little bit scared about security. But I just want to stress on the fact that you are secured, your family is secure. There were a lot of family members were there, kids were there. So please, as you come into Griffin's Park on the 1st of September, or coming on the 15th, which we are all going to Home Depot Center Place, make sure that you're secured. I can put my foot on this one right here, because from testimony from 3 people is enough to tell me that the place is going to be secure for you, because I'm bringing my kids. I have 3 kids, and I know they are very little ones. I won't let them go into places where I know there's going to be anything like that place. So bring your family. It's going to be great. But Hughes, I know MoneyGram has been great in Africa. As you were talking, we have 13,000 locations in the entire Africa. Yep. How come? I know you guys send money to almost the whole world. How come all 13,000 in the entire Africa?
Only, or how come? I didn't hear the last part of the question. Sorry.
How come that only 13,000 in entire Africa? Because Africa is big, and we have only 13,000 of it.
And I think, well, it is. That's a very good question. We for me, it's a great opportunity. There are two
Yes.
ways to look at it. You
Uh-huh.
say only 13,000 locations, right?
Yes.
5, 7, 10 years ago, MoneyGram was probably at what, 1,000 transactions, 1,000 locations across Africa. Over 5 years, we have a growth that exceeds even our largest competitor in terms of number of locations that we're trying to get. Now, the remittance market has changed tremendously, where some of the competitors who were there before MoneyGram had exclusive deals with some of the banks. Now the world is spreading out. The opportunities are opening up, and we are getting requests on a daily basis from local banks in Africa and exchange bureaus and whatnot, trying to team up with MoneyGram.
That's
So
great.
that number, it might be small in comparison to the opportunities that Africa presents. But trust me, we are growing double digits every year in terms of new agent location that we are opening up in Africa. So today we're talking about 13,000. Our goal is every year to grow double digits and partner up with banks that you, the consumer, trust. Because it's not a matter of just having location all over Africa. It's a matter of making sure that those are entities that you, the consumer, trust to have your family go and pick up money. And that's why MoneyGram is taking the right approach in partnering up with well-known and strong locations in remote areas as well as in urban and rural areas throughout the continent of Africa.
Well, Hugh, that is very important. That is very, very laudable idea, right? There a lot of location coming up as well to and more for you, the consumer. Hughes, but the information that I have in front of me is that about 85% of, let's say, Ghana's gross domestic product come from foreign country. You know, they come from the money that we here in the United States, in Europe, in other foreign countries sent to our parents and our brothers and sisters back there. 85% of the whole country's GDP is coming from us. And I know it comes from a source. It has to come through MoneyGram. It has to come through other means of transfer as well too. And believe me, I'm not very sure that if this 85%, the whole 85 is going through your system. What are you guys doing so that you can increase your wider base, make it accessible to people so that most people will transfer money through this one here?
I think it's a fantastic question, and I'm glad you bring up the stats. The stats. Remittance has become the bread and butter of the diaspora. The communication between it's not just about money. The way I always explain it to my folks and my team here. Remittance for us immigrants is a means of communication. Sometimes
That's
it's correct. A means of narrowing the gap between us and them. It's a means of fulfilling one's dream of completing school, of getting better health care.
That's correct.
Or just putting food on the table. So 85%, as you said, is contribute to the GDP of the country. Yes. I think what the better argument is, out of this pool of money going to Africa,
yes,
our number one competitor has probably 16% of the global remittance market.
Okay.
MoneyGram today has about 5% share.
That's correct. Right?
But what we are excited about is that if you look at a pie chart, there's about probably 70% of the informal sector that is yet to be tapped, which taps into your question to know how do we make it accessible for our consumers, our community members, to go and look for MoneyGram and know that once they use MoneyGram, it's a safe and secure and convenient, fast means of sending money. My job here in the Southern California area and in the West Coast is to make sure that we have locations. We have agent location in your areas. The CV